Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, my number one is Fable Anniversary on Xbox 360. I played Fable when it came out on Xbox. It's always going to be that game that is remembered for how much bollocks Peter Molyneux spouted about it, and then it never really delivered on what he said, talking about planting acorns and then them growing into trees. And this was at a time where, like, everybody was fascinated by what gaming could be almost in terms of reaching realism, and you could exist in these worlds. Those types of games actually do exist now, stuff like Rust and things like that. But for the most part, getting that much detail in any game would actually be detrimental. To being able to do all that stuff in Fable would just get in the way of what's actually good about it. And the game's actually, it is a good game. It's a little bit pedestrian these days, but I do like the fact that, unlike Fable 2 and 3, where you couldn't die, I mean, you could die, but you just respawned immediately. This game, you die, you go back to the save point. It gets a bit more tension in the combat, because the combat's hardly DMC or God of War. It's just hacking and slashing and firing some laser bolts and rolling about the place. It's fine, but the fact you can die does make it a bit more tense and a bit more interesting. And it's still very charming, all the West Country accents and the different regional dialects and things like that. People chirping funny things at you, and they've done a good job at the remake. They put it into 1080p. It does look nice. It probably looks nicer than even Fable 3. I'd go that far. It really does look nice, like it's pushing the Xbox. Unfortunately, the animation can't hold up to how nice it looks, because it's still all the old animation rigs and things from 2004 when it first came out, 2003, 2004. So, like, characters pivot on the spot after cutscenes, and just stiltedly walk back into the house, all that sort of stuff that didn't really matter back then, but it looks a bit stupid now. And if you play Fable, you know how it works. You start as a little boy, bad stuff happens, you turn into the hero of Albion. You can choose to play it like a good guy, choose to play it like a bad guy. The citizens are quick to forget whatever you do anyway, but the world is still very reactive to what you do. It's kind of a strange decision for an anniversary edition, because it's never really been a game that's like, Halo. You can understand completely why that was given the full HD remake territory, but treatment, I should say. But Fable, I don't know. It's kind of like Fable 2 came out and pretty much bettered it in every way, apart from the fact you couldn't die. But I understood what they were trying to do when that came out. That was like a trend that seems to have gone away again now. But I don't know if you really fancy playing Fable again for whatever reason. I guess, it's only £30. It's there. It's fine. It holds up as a perfectly adequate game, but I wouldn't go nuts for it. I don't know. It's one of those games. It's hard to. There's nothing really bad to say about it, but you can't really rave about it, especially when 2 and 3 exist and they do more interesting things.
I suppose the reason they've made the port is because that's the only one that hasn't appeared on 360.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I was surprised to learn that it was a boxed product. I thought it was a download.
Yeah, but to be fair, the quality of the assets that they've used to make the whole world 1080p, I think it would be probably too big to have just as a download anyway. But yeah, it's fine. It's one of those games hard to get passionate either way about. It just is.